Force yourself to take action day by day. That's the secret, isn't it? The magic formula we're all searching for. But let me tell you something, it's not magic at all. It's a decision. A decision you make every single day when you open your eyes in the morning. You see, life doesn't care about your intentions. Life doesn't give a hoot about your grand plans or your lofty goals. Life only responds to one thing: action, cold, hard, relentless action, day in, day out. That's the currency of success, my friends. And let me tell you, it's a currency that's available to each and every one of us. Now, I know what you're thinking, but it's hard. It's uncomfortable. I don't feel like it. Well, let me share a little secret with you. Success is not about feeling like it. Success is about doing it anyway. Success is about pushing through when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to quit. You want to know the difference between the average and the exceptional? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not circumstances. It's action. Consistent, persistent, unyielding action. The kind of action that doesn't wait for motivation to strike like lightning. The kind of action that creates its own motivation through sheer force of will. Let me tell you a story. Back in my day, I knew a young man. Let's call him Tom. Now, Tom wasn't particularly gifted. He wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He didn't have any special advantages. But Tom had one thing going for him. He understood the power of daily action. Every morning, Tom would wake up at 5 a.m. Rain or shine, feeling good or feeling lousy, Tom was up with the birds. And every morning, without fail, Tom would tackle the most important task of his day before most people had even hit the snooze button. Was it easy? Heck no. Tom struggled. He fought against his own laziness, his own doubts, his own fears. But day after day, week after week, month after month, Tom kept at it. He forced himself to take action, even when he didn't want to, especially when he didn't want to. And you know what happened. Slowly but surely, Tom started to see results. His business grew, his skills improved, his confidence soared. And before long, people started calling Tom lucky. Can you believe that? They looked at Tom's success and chalked it up to luck. But you and I know better, don't we? We know that Tom's success wasn't luck at all. It was the inevitable result of forcing himself to take action, day by day. It was the compound interest of daily effort paying dividends over time. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Far from it. Forcing yourself to take action day by day is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. It's a battle, my friends. A battle against your own worst enemy, yourself. You see, we all have two selves inside us. We have the self that wants comfort, ease, and instant gratification. The self that says, let's sleep in today. Let's watch TV instead of working on our goals. Let's take the easy way out. But we also have another self, a higher self, a self that understands the value of delayed gratification, a self that's willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term gain. And the key to success, my friends, is learning to listen to that higher self, learning to override your base instincts and do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. It's about building habits, strong, unshakable habits that carry you forward, even when your willpower fails. Because let me tell you something, willpower is a finite resource. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more tired it gets. And that's why relying on willpower alone is a recipe for failure. No, the real secret is to build habits so strong that they become automatic. So ingrained that you do them without even thinking. That's when the magic happens. That's when you start to see real, lasting change in your life. But how do you build these habits? How do you force yourself to take action day by day? Well, let me give you a few strategies that have worked for me and countless others I've had the privilege to mentor over the years. First and foremost, start small. Don't try to change your entire life overnight. That's a surefire way to burn out and give up. Instead, pick one small action, one tiny habit that you can commit to doing every single day, no matter what. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a book. Maybe it's making one sales call. Maybe it's writing 100 words. Whatever it is, make it so small that it seems almost laughable. So small that you have no excuse not to do it. And then, my friends, you do it every single day. No exceptions, no excuses. Rain or shine, feeling good or feeling bad, you do that one small thing. At first, it'll feel insignificant. You might even feel silly doing such a small task. But stick with it. Because here's the beautiful thing about small actions. They compound. They build momentum. They create a snowball effect that over time becomes unstoppable. Think about it this way. If you read 10 pages a day, that's 3,650 pages in a year. That's about 12 books. Imagine how much knowledge you'd gain, how much you'd grow just from that one small daily action. Or if you made one extra sales call a day, that's 365 extra opportunities to grow your business over the course of a year. How many of those calls might turn into sales? How much might your income grow? You see, success isn't about making huge leaps. It's about taking small steps consistently over a long period of time. It's about forcing yourself to take action day by day, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but what if I miss a day? What if I slip up? Well, let me tell you something. Perfection is the enemy of progress. You're going to miss days. You're going to slip up. That's not failure. That's being human. The key is not to let those slip-ups derail you completely. So you missed a day. So what? Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't use it as an excuse to give up entirely. Just get back on track the next day. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent over the long haul. Another powerful strategy for forcing yourself to take action is to change your environment. You see, we humans are creatures of habit. We're deeply influenced by our surroundings, often in ways we don't even realize. If you want to read more, put books everywhere. On your nightstand in your car, by your favorite chair, make it easier to pick up a book than to avoid it. If you want to eat healthier, stock your fridge with nutritious foods. Get rid of the junk. Make it easier to eat an apple than a bag of chips. If you want to exercise more, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Put your running shoes by the door. Make it easier to go for a jog than to stay on the couch. You see, when you change your environment, you change your behavior. You make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. And over time, those small environmental changes can lead to massive shifts in your life. But here's the thing, my friends. All the strategies in the world won't help you if you don't have a compelling reason why. You need to know why you're forcing yourself to take action day by day. You need to have a vision that's bigger than your excuses. What's your why? What's driving you? What's that big audacious goal that gets you out of bed in the morning? What's that dream that's worth sacrificing for? Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's making a difference in the world. Maybe it's being the best parent you can be. Whatever it is, you need to connect with it every single day. You need to visualize it, feel it, taste it. Because when the going gets tough, and it will get tough, it's your why that will keep you going. It's your why that will help you push through the resistance, overcome the obstacles, and keep taking action day after day after day. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to taking action. Rest and recovery. Yes, you heard me right. Rest and recovery are crucial parts of the action-taking process. You see, life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And if you want to keep taking action day after day, year after year, you need to pace yourself. You need to build in time for rest and rejuvenation. This doesn't mean being lazy. Far from it. It means being strategic about your energy management. It means understanding that sometimes the most productive thing you can do is take a break, recharge your batteries. Clear your mind. And think about it like this. If you had a machine that was printing money for you, would you run it 24/7 until it broke down? Of course not. You'd maintain it. You'd give it regular tune-ups. You'd make sure it was in top condition so it could keep producing for you long term. Well, guess what? You are that machine. Your body, your mind, they're the tools you use to take action and create success. And if you want them to keep performing at a high level, you need to take care of them. So build in time for rest, for reflection, for gratitude. These aren't luxuries, my friends. They're necessities. They're what allow you to keep taking action day after day without burning out. Now let's talk about something that trips up a lot of people when it comes to taking daily action. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is a dream killer, my friends. It's the voice that says if you can't do it perfectly, don't do it at all. But here's the truth. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. You don't have to get it right, you just have to get it going. Because the reality is, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall short. You're going to produce work that's less than your best. And that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's necessary, because it's through those imperfect actions, those mistakes, those shortcomings, that we learn and grow. It's through doing that we figure out how to do better. Think about a child learning to walk. Do they wait until they can run a marathon before taking their first step? Of course not. They stumble, they fall, they get back up and try again. And through that process of imperfect action, they eventually learn to walk, to run, to dance. The same principle applies to any goal you're pursuing. Don't wait until you have it all figured out. Don't wait until conditions are perfect. Take action now with whatever you have, wherever you are. Force yourself to take that imperfect action day by day. Because here's the beautiful thing about action. It provides clarity. It shows you what works and what doesn't. It gives you real-world feedback that you can use to adjust and improve. But you can't get that clarity, that feedback, that improvement without first taking action. So embrace imperfection. Embrace the learning process. Embrace the fact that your first attempts might be clumsy, might be flawed, might fall short of your expectations, because those imperfect actions are the stepping stones to mastery. Now let's address another common obstacle to taking daily action. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown, fear of what others might think. These fears can paralyze us, can keep us stuck in inaction. But here's the thing about fear. It's often a signpost. It's often pointing us in exactly the direction we need to go. The things we fear most are often the things we most need to do for our own growth and development. So instead of running from fear, instead of letting it keep you from taking action, learn to use it as fuel. Let it be a signal that you're on the right track. Let it be a challenge to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and taking action anyway. It's forcing yourself to move forward day by day, even when every instinct is telling you to retreat. And the beautiful thing about courage is that it's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Each time you face a fear, each time you take action despite feeling afraid, you grow a little bit stronger, a little bit braver, a little bit more resilient. So embrace the fear. Use it. Let it be the wind at your back pushing you forward rather than the wall in front of you holding you back. Now, let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial when it comes to forcing yourself to take action day by day. Accountability. You see, it's easy to break promises to yourself. It's easy to let yourself off the hook, but it's a lot harder to let other people down. That's why having accountability partners, mentors, or coaches can be so powerful. When you know someone else is watching, when you know you'll have to report your progress or lack thereof to someone else, it creates an extra layer of motivation. And someone who believes in you, who supports your goals, but who also isn't afraid to give you a kick in the pants when you need it. Someone who will celebrate your victories with you, but who will also call you out when you're making excuses. And if you can't find someone like that in your immediate circle, go out and find them. Join a mastermind group. Hire a coach. Surround yourself with people who are on the same journey, who understand the importance of taking daily action. Because here's the truth, we become like the people we surround ourselves with. If you're surrounded by people who make excuses, who shy away from action, who are content with mediocrity, guess what? That's likely what you'll become too. But if you surround yourself with action takers, with go-getters, with people who are committed to growth and success, their energy will rub off on you. Their commitment will inspire you. Their success will motivate you. So choose your circle wisely, because the people you surround yourself with will either raise your game or lower it. They'll either push you to take more action or give you excuses for inaction. Now, let's address something that often gets in the way of taking consistent action: the desire for immediate results. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want everything now, and if we don't see results right away, we get discouraged and give up. But success doesn't work that way. Real, lasting success is the result of consistent action over time. It's the compound interest of daily effort. And just like compound interest, the real magic happens not in the days or weeks, but in the months and years. Think about it like this. If you plant a tree, You can't expect to see fruit the next day. You might not even see a sprout for weeks. But if you keep watering it, keep nurturing it, keep taking care of it day after day, eventually it will grow into a mighty tree that bears abundant fruit. The same principle applies to your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. The actions you take today might not show results tomorrow. But if you keep at it, if you force yourself to take action day by day, week after week, month after month, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Remember, every master was once a beginner. Every success story started with a single step, and every great achievement is the result of small actions compounded over time. So don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Don't give up if things don't change overnight. Keep taking action. Keep moving forward. Trust the process, because it's in the doing, in the daily grind, that miracles happen. Now, I want to talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to taking action: celebration. Yes, you heard me right. Celebration. You see, many of us are so focused on the end goal, so driven to achieve more, that we forget to celebrate our progress along the way. But celebration is crucial. It's what keeps us motivated. It's what makes the journey enjoyable. And most importantly, it's what reinforces the behavior we want to continue. So celebrate your wins, no matter how small they might seem. Did you stick to your daily action for a week straight? Celebrate it. Did you overcome a fear and do something that scared you? Celebrate it. Did you make progress? Even if it's just a tiny bit? You guessed it. Celebrate it. These celebrations don't have to be big or extravagant. Maybe it's treating yourself to your favorite coffee. Maybe it's taking a moment to really feel proud of yourself. Maybe it's sharing your success with a friend or loved one. Whatever it is, make sure you're acknowledging and celebrating your progress. Because when you do, you're training your brain to associate action with reward. You're creating a positive feedback loop that makes it easier to keep taking action day after day. Now, let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial when it comes to forcing yourself to take action: self-talk. The way you talk to yourself, the story you tell yourself, has a profound. Let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial when it comes to forcing yourself to take action: self-talk. The way you talk to yourself, the story you tell yourself, has a profound impact on your ability to take consistent action. You see, we all have an inner voice. And for many of us, that voice can be pretty darn critical. It's the voice that says, "You're not good enough. You can't do this. Who do you think you are?" But here's the thing. You have the power to change that voice. You have the power to rewrite your inner narrative. And when you do, when you start speaking to yourself with kindness, with encouragement, with belief, it becomes so much easier to take action day after day. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I'm learning to do this." Instead of "This is too hard," try "This is challenging, but I'm growing stronger." Instead of "I'm not good enough," try "I'm getting better every day." These might seem like small changes, but they can have a massive impact, because when you change your words, you change your mindset. And when you change your mindset, you change your actions. So pay attention to your self-talk. Catch yourself when you're being overly critical or negative, and consciously choose to speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you'd offer to a dear friend. Remember, you're going to be talking to yourself for the rest of your life, so you might as well make it a good conversation. Now let's address something that often gets in the way of taking consistent action: comparison. In today's world, it's so easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. We see people's highlight reels and think we're falling behind. But here's the truth. The only person you need to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. Are you taking more action today than you did yesterday? Are you growing, learning, improving? That's what matters. Because success isn't about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you used to be. It's about forcing yourself to take action day by day and becoming the best version of yourself. Remember, everyone's journey is different. Everyone's timeline is different. You're not behind. You're not ahead. You're exactly where you need to be. Your job is simply to keep moving forward, to keep taking action, regardless of what anyone else is doing. Now, I want to talk about something that's crucial when it comes to taking consistent action. Systems. You see, goals are important. They give us direction. They give us something to aim for. But systems are what get us there. A goal is your desired outcome. A system is the process that leads to that outcome. And if you want to force yourself to take action day by day, you need to focus on creating effective systems. For example, let's say your goal is to write a book. That's great, but it's not enough. You need a system. Maybe your system is to write 500 words every day, no matter what. Maybe it's to spend 1 hour writing each morning before you do anything else. The beauty of focusing on systems is that they take the emotion out of it. You don't have to feel inspired to follow your system. You don't have to feel motivated. You just do it day in and day out, regardless of how you feel. And here's the amazing thing. When you focus on the system, on the process, the goals often take care of themselves. You look up one day and realize you've written that book, lost that weight, built that business simply by following your system day after day. So by all means, have goals. Dream big, but don't stop there. Create systems that support those goals. Create processes that force you to take action every single day. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to taking action. Patience. In our fast-paced world, we've lost the art of patience. We want everything now, and if we don't get immediate results, we get discouraged and give up. But here's the truth. Anything worth achieving takes time. Real, lasting success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent action over time. It's the compound interest of daily effort. Think about bamboo. When you plant bamboo, nothing appears to happen for the first 4 years. You water it, you nurture it, but you don't see any visible growth. But in the 5th year, something amazing happens. The bamboo suddenly grows up to 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Now, did the bamboo really grow 90 feet in 6 weeks? No. It was growing underground, developing a complex root system that would support its rapid above-ground growth. Your success works the same way. When you force yourself to take action day by day, you might not see immediate results. But trust me, growth is happening. You're developing the root system that will support your eventual success. So be patient. Trust the process. Keep taking action, even when you can't see the results yet. Because one day, just like that bamboo, your growth will suddenly become visible to everyone. Let's talk about something else that's crucial when it comes to taking consistent action: flexibility. Now, I know what you're thinking, but you've been talking about consistency, about doing the same things day after day. And you're right. Consistency is key. But here's the thing. Life happens. Circumstances change. And if you're too rigid in your approach, you'll break when life throws you a curveball. So while it's important to have routines, to have systems, it's equally important to be flexible within those systems. Maybe you usually work out in the morning, but something comes up. Instead of skipping your workout entirely, you find a way to fit it in later in the day. The key is to focus on the essence of your action, not the specifics. If your goal is to learn something new every day, it doesn't matter if you read a book, listen to a podcast, or have a meaningful conversation. What matters is that you're learning. This flexibility allows you to maintain your momentum to keep taking action, even when life doesn't go according to plan. And trust me, life rarely goes according to plan. Now, I want to address something that often holds people back from taking consistent action: the fear of success. Yes, you heard me right. Many people are actually afraid of succeeding. It might sound strange, but think about it. Success means change. It means stepping into the unknown. It means potentially outgrowing relationships, leaving behind the familiar, taking on new responsibilities. And for many people, that's scary. So they sabotage themselves. They stop taking action. They find excuses to stay where they are, even if where they are isn't where they want to be. But here's the thing. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. But you know what's more uncomfortable? Staying stuck, remaining stagnant, looking back on your life with regret, wondering what if. So embrace the discomfort of growth. Embrace the challenges that come with success. Because on the other side of that discomfort is everything you've ever dreamed of. Let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial when it comes to forcing yourself to take action day by day: your environment. And I'm not just talking about your physical environment, although that's important too. I'm talking about your mental environment, your emotional environment, your social environment. You see, we're all influenced by our surroundings, often in ways we don't even realize. The people we spend time with, the information we consume, the spaces we inhabit, all of these shape our thoughts, our beliefs, and ultimately our acts. So if you want to make it easier to take consistent action, you need to create an environment that supports your goals. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. Fill your mind with positive, empowering information. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to podcasts that motivate you. Watch videos that teach you new skills. Create a physical space that encourages action. If you want to write, have a dedicated writing space. If you want to exercise, keep your workout clothes visible and easily accessible. Remember, your environment doesn't just reflect you, it shapes you. So shape it intentionally. Now, let's address something that often gets in the way of taking consistent action: the need for motivation. How many times have you heard someone say, "I'm just not motivated"? How many times have you said it yourself? But here's the truth. Motivation is a myth. At least the idea that you need to feel motivated to take action is a myth. Successful people, people who consistently force themselves to take action day by day, they don't wait for motive. They act. And motivation follows? Think about it like this. Have you ever not felt like going to the gym, but you went anyway? And then halfway through your workout, you started feeling great, feeling energized, feeling motivated? That's because action precedes motivation, not the other way around. The act of doing creates the desire. So stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for inspiration to strike. Take action first, and I promise you the motivation will come. Let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to taking consistent action: rest and recovery. Now, I know what you're thinking, but you've been talking about action, about pushing through, about doing it anyway, and you're right. Taking action is crucial. But here's the thing. You're not a machine. You can't go 100 miles per hour all the time. You need time to rest, to recover, to recharge your batteries. Think about it like this. If you had a car, would you drive it nonstop, day and night, without ever stopping for gas or maintenance? Of course not. You'd run it into the ground. Well, the same principle applies to you. Taking time to rest isn't laziness. It's not weakness. It's smart strategy. It's what allows you to keep taking action day after day, week after week, year after year without burning out. So build rest into your routine. Make time for activities that recharge you, whether that's reading a book, taking a walk in nature, or spending time with loved ones. Your future self will thank you. Now, I want to talk about something that's absolutely crucial when it comes to forcing yourself to take action day by day. Your why, your purpose, your reason for doing what you do. You see, taking action consistently isn't easy. It requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. It requires pushing through when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to quit. And the only thing that will keep you going when things get tough is a strong why. A purpose that's bigger than your fears, bigger than your doubts, bigger than your temporary discomfort. Maybe your why is to provide a better life for your family. Maybe it's to make a difference in the world. Maybe it's to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Whatever it is, you need to connect with it every single day. Write it down. Visualize it. Feel it in your bones. Because when the going gets tough, and it will get tough, it's your why that will keep you moving forward.
Let's address something that often gets in the way of taking consistent action: perfectionism. Now, don't get me wrong. Striving for excellence is admirable. But perfectionism is a dream killer. You see, perfectionists often get stuck in planning mode. They want everything to be just right before they start. They want to know exactly how things will turn out before they take the first step.
But here's the truth. Perfection is a mirage. It doesn't exist. And waiting for perfect conditions, perfect knowledge, perfect skills, that's just another form of procrastination. Remember, done is better than perfect. Taking imperfect action beats perfect in action every single time. Because it's through action, messy, imperfect, stumbling action, that we learn, grow, and improve. So stop waiting for perfect. Stop trying to get it all figured out before you start. Take action now with whatever you have, wherever you are. Force yourself to take that imperfect action day by day. Now, I want to talk about something that's crucial when it comes to taking consistent action: Tracking your progress. You see, it's easy to lose sight of how far you've come when you're in the daily grind. It's easy to feel like you're not making progress, like your actions aren't adding up to anything. That's why it's so important to track your progress, to measure your growth, to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they might seem. Keep a journal. Use a habit tracker. Take progress photos. Whatever method works for you, find a way to visually see your progress over time. Because here's the thing, progress is motivating. When you can see how far you've come, it becomes easier to keep going. When you can measure your growth, it becomes easier to push through the tough days. So track your progress, measure your growth, and most importantly, celebrate your wins along the way. Because every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to taking consistent action. The power of small wins. You see, many of us make the mistake of setting huge, overwhelming goals. And while it's great to dream big, these massive goals can actually hinder our ability to take daily action.
Why? Because they seem so far away, so impossible to achieve, that we get discouraged. But
That's why it's so important to break your big goals down into small, manageable chunks, to focus on small wins that you can achieve on a daily or weekly basis.
maybe instead of focusing on losing 50 pounds, you focus on eating one healthy meal a day. Instead of trying to write a novel in a month, you focus on writing 500 words a day.
These small wins might not seem like much in the moment, but they add up. They create momentum, and most importantly, they make it easier to force yourself to take action day by day. Because let's face it, it's a lot easier to convince yourself to take one small action today than it is to tackle a massive, overwhelming goal.
So focus on small wins. Celebrate them. Use them to build momentum, and watch how they add up to big results over time.
Now, I wanted to address something that often gets in the way of taking consistent action. The fear of failure. So many of us are paralyzed by this fear. We're afraid of making mistakes, of looking foolish, of not measuring up. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. It's how we figure out what works and what doesn't. Think about a baby learning to walk. Do they give up after falling down once? Of course not. They get up, they try again, they fall again, and they keep going until they figure it out.
We need to approach our goals with the same attitude. We need to see failure not as something to be avoided at all costs, but as valuable feedback, as a necessary step on the path to success.
So don't let the fear of failure hold you back. Embrace it, learn from it, use it as fuel to keep taking action, day after day. Remember, the only real failure is not trying. Everything else is just learning. Let's talk about something that's crucial when it comes to forcing yourself to take action day by day. Your habits. You see, we are creatures of habit. We do what we've always done unless we make a conscious effort to change. And that's both good news and bad news. It's bad news if your current habits aren't serving you. But it's good news because it means that if you can change your habits, you can change your life. The key is to focus on creating habits that support your goals. Habits that make it easier to take consistent action. Because once something becomes a habit, it no longer requires willpower. It becomes automatic. Maybe it's waking up an hour earlier to work on your goals. Maybe it's reading for 30 minutes before bed. Maybe it's going for a walk every day after lunch.
Whatever it is, focus on creating habits that align with your goals. Because your habits, repeated day after day, week after week, year after year, ultimately become your life.
Now, I want to address something that often holds people back from taking consistent action: the need for permission. So many of us are waiting for someone to give us permission to pursue our dreams, to take action, to live the life we want. We're waiting for our boss to recognize our potential and give us that promotion. We're waiting for our friends and family to support our new business idea. We're waiting for the perfect moment when everything aligns. But here's the truth. The only person who needs to give you permission is you. You don't need anyone else's approval to take action towards your goals. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is now. You have the power to decide. You have the power to act. You have the power to force yourself to take action day by day, regardless of what anyone else thinks or says. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. Believe in yourself. Give yourself permission to go after what you want. And then take action, bold, decisive action towards your dreams. Let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial when it comes to taking consistent action. Your mindset. You see, your actions are a direct result of your thoughts. What you believe about yourself, about your abilities, about what's possible for you. These beliefs shape your actions. If you believe you're not good enough, you won't take action. If you believe success is meant for other people, but not for you, you won't take action. If you believe you're not good enough, you won't take action. If you believe success is meant for other people, but not for you, you won't take action. If you believe it's too late, you're too old, you don't have the right background, you won't take action. But here's the beautiful thing. You have the power to change your mindset. You have the power to choose your thoughts, to shape your beliefs. And when you change your mindset, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, you change your life. So, choose to believe in yourself. Choose to believe in your potential. Choose to believe that you're capable of amazing things. And then force yourself to take action in alignment with those beliefs day by day. Remember, your life moves in the direction of your strongest thoughts. So think big, believe big, and most importantly, act big. In conclusion, my friends, forcing yourself to take action day by day isn't easy. It's a battle against your own doubts, your own fears, your own inertia. But it's a battle worth fighting, because on the other side of that battle is everything you've ever dreamed of. Success isn't about being perfect. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about taking small, consistent actions, day after day, week after week, year after year. It's about forcing yourself to do what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. So start today. Start now. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect circumstances. Take action now with whatever you have, wherever you are. Because a year from now, you'll wish you had started today. Remember, the difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. So do something, take action. Force yourself to move forward day by day, and watch as your dreams become your reality. Power's in your hands. The time is now. Go out there and make it happen.